What if the devil didn't live in hell? What if it lived inside you? In today's video, we're breaking down the terrifying 2026 psychological horror film Diabolic, a movie that doesn't just scare you with demons, it makes you question your own mind. This isn't your typical jump scare horror. It's darker, it's disturbing, and by the end, you'll be asking yourself one question. Was it ever a demon, or was it always her? So sit back, relax, and let's dive into the complete story of Diabolic 2026. Explain from beginning to end. The story begins. The movie opens in total silence. A young woman named Elena sits alone in a dimly lit church. Her eyes are swollen from crying. Her hands tremble as she clutches a rosary. Suddenly, a priest's voice echoes, "Confess, and you shall be forgiven." But Elena doesn't speak. Instead, she smiles. Cut to black. We flash back 2 weeks earlier. Elena returns to her small hometown after years away. The town is isolated, surrounded by forests, constantly covered in fog. She's there because her mother, Margaret Voss, has mysteriously died. But something feels wrong. The townspeople avoid eye contact. The priest, Father Dominic, looks disturbed when he sees her. And Elena keeps hearing whispers at night. Her childhood home feels alive. Doors open on their own. Mirrors show reflections slightly delayed. And every night at exactly 3:33 a.m., she wakes up gasping for air. One night she finds something horrifying. Her mother's old diary. Inside, Margaret wrote, "It started when Elena turned 7. She talks to something. It says it belongs to her." Elena doesn't remember any of this. But something inside her does. The entity. Strange things begin happening. Elena loses time. She wakes up in places she doesn't remember going. Her hands are bruised. There are scratches on her back. And she keeps hearing a voice whisper, "You let me in." One evening, the power cuts out. Candles flicker violently. And in the darkness, she sees a shadow crawling across the ceiling. Not walking. Crawling. It drops behind her. She turns. Nothing. But the mirror behind her shows something else. Her reflection is smiling. She is not. Father Dominic finally confronts her. He reveals something shocking. When Elena was 7, there was an incident. Her father died in a brutal fire, but the police report was sealed. Why? Because neighbors claimed they saw Elena standing outside the burning house, watching, smiling. Dominic believes something attached itself to her as a child. Not possession. Not exactly. Something worse. A symbiosis. The entity doesn't control her. It feeds on her. The first kill. One night, Elena goes to a local bar. A man named Ryan tries to flirt with her. He follows her outside. He grabs her wrist. She whispers, "Don't." Suddenly, Ryan starts choking. No hands touching him. He lifts into the air. His neck snaps. Elena collapses. When she wakes up, Ryan's body is twisted unnaturally on the pavement. Police suspect her, but there's no evidence. Only one thing was caught on camera. Elena standing still, while Ryan dies midday. Is it possession or insanity? The movie begins playing with the audience. Is the demon real, or is Elena mentally fractured? She visits a psychiatrist. He diagnoses her with dissociative identity disorder. He says the entity is a trauma response from childhood. But then, the psychiatrist is found dead in his office. Walls covered in writing. She is a gate. Act 3. The Truth. Elena finds the rest of her mother's hidden diary pages. And here's the horrifying truth. Margaret once performed a forbidden ritual, not to summon something, but to save Elena. When Elena was a child, she nearly died from a high fever. Margaret made a deal. She invited something ancient into her daughter to keep her alive. And it worked. But the entity didn't leave. It grew with her, protected her, fed through her, loved her. The entity reveals itself. At 3:33 a.m., Elena finally confronts it. She locks herself in the church. Lights explode. Windows shatter. And the shadow forms fully for the first time. A tall, distorted humanoid figure with no face. It speaks in her voice. "I am not inside you. You are inside me." Flashbacks hit rapidly. Her father didn't die in an accident. He tried to kill her after discovering the truth. The fire? She started it, but she wasn't alone. The entity protected her, because she is its anchor in the human world. The final ritual. Father Dominic prepares an exorcism, but during the ritual, something shocking happens. The demon doesn't resist. Instead, Elena does. She screams at the priest to stop, because now she understands. The entity saved her, protected her from abuse, protected her from death, protected her from loneliness. It wasn't tormenting her. It was keeping her alive. The church begins collapsing. Dominic is thrown violently across the room. And in a final horrifying moment, Elena looks directly at him and says, "You call it evil. I call it family." Everything goes black. Ending scene. We return to the opening scene. Elena sitting in the church. But this time, we understand. She isn't confessing. She's waiting. A new priest enters. She looks up, smiles. Cut to black. Ending explained. The movie leaves us with one disturbing idea. The entity was never the villain. It was a pact. A bond. Elena was not possessed. She was chosen. The film suggests that trauma, darkness, and survival sometimes create something monstrous, but that monster may feel like protection. The title Diabolic doesn't just refer to a demon. It refers to the dual nature of salvation and damnation, good and evil living in the same body. And that's a complete story of Diabolic 2026, a psychological horror that blurs the line between possession and protection. If you enjoyed this full breakdown and want more deep horror recaps like this, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Comment below. Do you think the entity was evil? Or was it truly protecting her? Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some demons don't haunt you, they grow with you.